30 signings, who gives a fuck? Nottingham Forest are staying up. 30 signings, who gives a fuck? Nottingham Forest are staying up. Now, you'll all be aware, Forest did beat Arsenal 1-0 yesterday. We got the the biggest 3 points of the season, and obviously handed City the title, so congratulations to them. Commiserations to Arsenal. You was good yesterday, just wasn't amazing. And that's probably the story of the season when it comes to the title race. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Forest staying up in the Premier League. Now, just before we get into the video, and I go into a little bit and we'll speak about the game and speak about the season, if you'd hit the subscribe button for me, I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers ready for next season, and it would mean so much to me. So please hit it, and also drop a like on the video. So, Forest did the impossible. When we got promoted last year, along with Bournemouth, Forest was everyone's nailed-on team to go back down. Now, Bournemouth secured survival 2-3 weekends ago now, and I've looked like they're doing it for a while. But Forest, it took them to the 37th match day, but I don't really care. We all said at Wembley last year when we got promoted, if we finish 17th next year, it's an achievement. To stay up in the Premier League, the competition is ridiculous. And obviously where we was as a club and as a team, we was nowhere near that standard. The club has operated as a championship club for 23 years. So people behind the scenes, the board, everything was at championship level. And we had to change all that. So as much as, obviously I'll speak about it in a second, but the change we had on the pitch with players, there was a lot going on behind the scenes as well. And we had to change all of that. So obviously it was very much highlighted through the season, obviously the start of the season in January as well. And especially when Forest was doing bad, but when we was doing well, no one was speaking about it. But Forest went and signed 30 players this season. Now, a few of them we've not seen because obviously they came in and went straight out on loan. Others come in, been injured all season, get Omar Richards and that lot. But a lot of them players have played a part this year and added little bits of percentages to the survival. And I need to thank all of them, because without them, without the club, without Steve Cooper, without Evangelos Marinakis, we would be back down in the Championship. Now, Forest obviously had 5 loanees last year, and a lot of first-team players left us due to their contracts or other reasons of they wanted to go back home, they just wanted a different change, and obviously the club felt that some of the players wasn't ready for the Premier League, so we had to go out and sign, what was it in the first window, 22, 23 players, something stupid like that. I'm calling it stupid because obviously, if you look on our outside, it is stupid to sign that many players. But we had to. We had to sign them players. There was no other reason for it. And like I said, they've all added a little percentage each to Forest staying up. Now, if we're looking at like player of the season, there's 2 options in my opinion. It's either Brennan Johnson or Morgan Gibbs-White. I feel Johnson has been more consistent, and without him and his goals, we would have probably been down a long time ago. But what Morgan Gibbs-White brings to the team is his tenacity going forward and backwards. He's had to sacrifice a lot this year, Morgan Gibbs-White has, because he's a type of player that wants his team to have the ball and have all of the ball, sprays it around, tries and creates little pockets, like what Odegaard was trying to do yesterday. But he's had to just sit in a block with Forest this year, and it's worked out in some games, obviously not in others, but that's not what he wants to do. He doesn't want to play that way, but he did it for the nature of the team. And obviously people hitting form at literally the bang on time was Taiwo Awoniyi, 5 goals in his last 3 games. Forest top scorer now this season after being out from January to April. That is some doing. And you think maybe if he was fit in them months, then we maybe would have been further away from the relegation zone, but you can't think like that. And Danilo, the young lad from Brazil, we signed him. First game, first couple of games he had to get chucked in there. Bournemouth away, Man U in the Carabao Cup semi-final, and you could see he had something about him. He had quality. And my sister, I go to Forest with, I turned around and I said, you got to watch him because he's a good player. And then obviously he started to drift out of games, which isn't his fault. He's 21, brand new country, don't even know the language, and he's trying to come in and help a team. It was always going to be hard for him. But yeah, we've had some fantastic performers this year. Obviously Navas coming in, helping out while Henderson's been injured. Ori's been quality. Worrell for the last 7-8 games has been exceptional. Felipe from January, obviously January signing. Niakate coming back from injury, what a signing he looks like he's going to be. Lodi, literally the lot of them, you can't fault them. But I think 2 men that deserve very, very high plaudits this year. One is obviously Steve Cooper, and I think that's where the plaudits will go to, other than the players, will be Steve Cooper. 4 years in professional first team management, and he's got triple back-to-back championship playoff finishers. In the third one, he got his team promoted, and his 4th year, he keeps his team in the Premier League with 30 new signings, everything going on behind the scene. And Forest have had to put up with a very, very gruesome injury list as well. Let's not forget that. We've had the second most injuries in the league, I believe, behind Chelsea, or maybe even joint first now. I'm not sure, but it's been hard. But we've never moaned about it once. We just got on with it, because what can you do with injuries? It's part of the game. And we've just battled on through, picking up points, and we are finally safe in the Premier League. Now, the other man I want to give plaudits to is the owner of Evangelos Marinakis, because imagine if it's, I'm not talking about football, imagine if it's your business, you spent an absolute shit ton of money, and the people you've hired to put in charge of it aren't doing well. What you're putting your money in for, you're not getting anything back. And he could have pulled the trigger many times this season and sacked Steve Cooper. But obviously the fans kept him in his position, and Marinakis made the right decision in the end, because a lot of people called for Cooper to get sacked and Dyche to come in before he went to Everton. Now, at the time, I thought it was an even chance. You get rid of Cooper, you bring in Dyche, you've got a chance. If you keep Cooper, you've still got a chance. Now, obviously, Dyche is still in a relegation battle with Everton. It's going to go to the final day and see who goes down. Well, the 2 teams go down out of the 3 of Everton, Leicester and Leeds, so we'll see how that one plays out. But Forest don't have to worry about that anymore, and we're safe, ready for next year. And I believe we'll do some damage on the league next year. I think with a few additions, 4 or 5 really quality signs, I think we'll get Loddy in permanently and Dean Henderson, and then we build from there. There's a few additions we need to make, and make the squad a bit better, because sometimes the bench this season has been weak, but I think we're going to really give it a go next year. But anyway, that's going to do it for the end of the video. If you've enjoyed, then drop a like below. Like I said, subscribe if you haven't. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers before next season. Also, comment down below what content you'd like to see over the channel over the next few months while the Premier League is away. And until next time, see ya.